friends. Welcome to Sky House Herbs podcast. I'm Ashley Elenbaas, a clinical herbalist, and in this space, I share my knowledge and experience with plant medicine to help you on your own journey of healing and transformation. Join me in exploring the ancient wisdom of plant spirit medicine and how it can be used to heal the body, mind, and spirit. We'll talk to experts in the field and share stories from people who've been transformed by powerful plant allies. New episodes are released each Monday, so please subscribe. And now, let's explore this mystical world of plant medicine together. Hey, Herbies, welcome in. We are in the doldrums of winter right now, at least here in Minnesota. And I wanted to share with you some tips that are really easy to help you feel a little bit lighter during these harder times in the depths of winter. So I'm going to give you 5 tips, and these are going to be easy, like things you can do starting now to help boost your mood and boost your energy. And then 5 herbs that are going to be really supportive this time of year as well. Before I dive into today's content, I wanted to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please just take a moment and click the subscribe button. It really does help you to find me easier and for me to be able to reach you and to reach other people and share the power and magic of herbs with more folks. So thank you for that. If you're new to my channel, welcome in. My name is Ashley Elenbaas. I'm a clinical herbalist with over, 17 years now of experience working with people and plants and teaching people about both the chemistry and the magic of the world of herbal medicine. So glad you found me. Welcome in. And I wanted to share my website with you because some of you might not know some of the other things that I do, along with providing free content for you on YouTube, is I'm also a teacher and I lead a year-long herbal apprenticeship. I have a first year and a second year course where I will teach you everything I know about how to make medicines, how to talk to plants and work with plants. And I don't mean like literally talk, but like understand the language that plants speak in. It's pretty amazing. So I have a full year-long course and a second year program. Let's hop over to the Sky House website so I can show you where all of this great info is. So if you go to skyhouseherbs.com, you can find the website here. You can click and learn more about our online courses. I have events that I'll be speaking at. And then in the spring and summer, I offer local garden gatherings where you can come hang out with me in my garden. We'll do art, we'll learn about plants, and we'll make medicines. I wanted to just go to the courses page here. If you click on Sky House or Herbal Foundations Apprenticeship, you can learn about our program that's starting in April. So there's still time to join. You can learn all about how to grow herbs, process them, make your own medicines, how to apply them, learn about plant energetics, doctrine of signatures, and also take plants in your own body. And I'll guide you through exactly how to use the plants and give you some journal prompts that will help you forge a deeper relationship with the herbs. So if you just keep scrolling down, you can find the sign up button here. We have our early bird tuition, which is running until I think in the middle of March. So you still have a little time. And then our regular tuition. And if you are someone who needs a little financial support, maybe these are just out of your price options or price points, then you can apply for tuition assistance. Just click on this button, fill out this very simple application, and then click view pricing, and it will lead you to, we have 2 different tiers of financial assistance. And so you can fill this out, click on this, you'll see what you're eligible for. And then from there, you can just select which one you want to do. And it's as simple as that. If you've already studied with me and you want to go a little deeper, I have a second year apprenticeship. We are still getting the registration details ready for you. So course materials are coming soon. So you can stay tuned, learn more about that. And then if you click on events, upcoming events are all listed here. I'll be, my husband and I are going to be leading a spring equinox gathering on March 8th. I'll be teaching a class at Sailor's Greenhouse on using garden herbs to make your own medicine. And then I'll be offering classes at the Midwest Women's Herbal Conference, and you can get a discount, 10% off of your ticket price if you use the code HERBAL10 when you register. So all of that is there, should you be interested. And if you haven't looked at my archives on my YouTube channel, I have got like over 300 videos. And I have playlists where you can learn about individual plants. I have playlists from live Q&As. There's a whole bunch of information. So if you are enjoying this content and maybe you've only watched like 10 of my videos, go back and look at the archives. All of it is very relevant still. Okay. So why the winter doldrums and what is a doldrum? And I remember Kathy Donnelly, who was a yoga teacher of mine at the Yoga Center of Columbia in Maryland, she taught a class on the winter doldrums. And she said, sailors, people who sail, when they are out at sea, and there'll be these periods where there's no wind and you're just sitting there. And sailing requires wind. The boat doesn't have any power except for wind power. So when the winds die down, then the boat just sits. And sometimes people can sit for days and even weeks because there's no wind. And so she likened February to being like the doldrums at sea. Is kind of like, it feels kind of like a doldrum in our lives where there's no wind in our sails. We're just kind of sitting here being like, okay, what's next? This is boring. Can we move already? So if you're feeling any of that, you're not alone. This is a very common theme in the winter time. And there are some things that we can do to help us. And I just wanted to say too, I think a few other reasons why the winter can be so hard, especially this month, is that we are now, probably in our least social month because it's cold outside. A lot less people are gathering together. And, humans are collective creatures. We don't live in isolation very well for very long. And a lot of studies show that having contact with others is so important for our mental health and our physical health and our cardiovascular and neurological health. And there's a lot of studies that have been done on the elderly when they are, disconnected from other people. The cognitive and their physical decline starts to, happen more rapidly. So we need contact. We need things like sunshine. We need things like movement. We need things like heat. And all of those are tending to be a little bit lower this time of year. So, I really wanted to just share with you things that you can add in, because in my experience as a clinician, when I'm working with a client, the thing that doesn't work, right? Like we all learn things that don't work. What doesn't typically work for people is don't do this. Don't do that. You need to take away this. You need to take away that. God forbid I tell people to take out coffee. Oh my gosh. No one likes that. No one likes being told to take away something that they love. So rather than me telling you what you shouldn't do, I'm going to tell you 5 things you can do, 5 things you can add in pretty easily to boost your mood, to boost your energy levels, and to just kind of help add some wind into the sail of your life right now. So the first thing is I want you to add moisture. Quick and easy. And here are some easy, simple ways you can add moisture. You can add it through simply drinking more water. That's a great thing to do. My tip for you is add a pinch of sea salt. Personally, I like gray sea salt because it's the most water holding in the body. But if you can't get gray sea salt, then pink or Himalayan sea salt can be nice, but sea salt can't be table salt. So find some good high quality sea salt and add a pinch to your water and drink more water. And that's going to help you stay hydrated. But the other thing that people don't realize is that we have 2 moisture pathways in the body. One of them is water. The other one is oils. So if you're dried out, you might also not, it might be that you're drinking plenty of water. You might be deficient in your oil pathways. And so in the wintertime, our skin can get drier. Our just like the texture of our skin changes. And if you're like going through perimenopause or, already, your skin might be doing things. The winter is an even harsher time for our skin. And so adding in good quality oils, both internally and externally, can make a huge impact quite quickly on how our skin feels. And as a result, how we feel. Because, when we look in the mirror and we're all crackly and dry and flaky, you're going to feel different about yourself than if you're glowy and shiny and hydrated. So I wanted to share some products with you that I use. I'm not affiliated with them. I'm not going to get any money from you buying these, but you might find them to be helpful for you, or you might note that you have something at home already that is similar. So the first thing that I think you need to hydrate externally, let's start with the external, is your whole body. That's all of your skin. This is something that I made, so you're not going to be able to buy this. My label is all oiled up, and you can see that this bottle is almost empty because I've used pretty much all of my sunflower seed oil on my body. And I know some people are like, seed oils, they're evil. They're not evil. They're not evil. If they get rancid, they're bad. But sunflower seed oil is a very healthy oil. So whatever, I don't know. I still use seed oils, and I really love sunflower seed oil for the body. I also like jojoba oil is really nice for the body. But if you can just even buy from the health food store some high quality cold pressed oil and just put that on your body after every shower and bath, you're going to notice a huge difference. I've used my oil, which has been infused with herbs, and I have burdock and marshmallow and calendula and some other herbs, rue in a tiny, tiny amount, and cinnamon, which I love the smell of. And it's really kind of invigorating for the body in the winter. So this is what I use almost every day, at least on my arms, and my like elbows get really rough and my ankles get really dry. So, even if I don't shower every single day, I find that for my body and my hair and skin, I do really well with every other or every maybe 2 to 3 days washing and bathing in the winter time. So unless I'm like at the gym and stinky, and then I definitely shower. But it can be really nice just to keep your body hydrated with some sort of full body oil. The other thing that I really love and swear by is this oil in the winter. So this is made by a company called Ranavat. They're an Ayurvedic based company. This is their brightening saffron serum. And in the wintertime, like my skin needs some brightening. I even though I have some, Mediterranean blood, and in the summertime I get pretty dark, in the winter I get really light. So I like to use this, and I just want to show you. So it's infused with saffron, which gives it its beautiful color. And it doesn't give me the ingredients, but I've researched it, and it's really high quality ingredients. But I just want to show you. So it's got this really cool dropper, and I dropped a lot of it out. So let's do that again. Okay. And because it has this nice tint to it, when you put it on your skin, so I put this on my face and on my hands. And what it does is it gives your skin this a little bit of a golden glow to it, which is really nice again in the wintertime. It has this lovely smell that they use all natural oils, but it's really nice for the face, for the neck, for the décolletage, and for the hands. So I really like this. And if you don't buy this particular one, maybe find something that has a little bit of saffron or turmeric, or just something to give your skin a little bit of that glow. And then you might not know this, but you should also be oiling your nose. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but I remember learning this when I was in herb school, which is this is Nasya oil, Nasya oil. This one is made by Banyan Botanicals, which is another Ayurvedic company. And this one is made from sesame oil, olive oil. It has gotu kola, calamus, skullcap, and a little bit of eucalyptus essential oil in it. I love this in the wintertime. So there's a few reasons why. The first one is that my nose does tend to get pretty dry. And I think this is just from breathing in heated air all winter long. So sometimes my nose will get kind of like dry and crackly. Sometimes I'll even get like, you'll blow your nose and it'll be like blood. And you're like, why do I have a bloody nose? Well, it's because things have gotten really dried out. So what you do is you'll just take a cotton swab like this, and then take your Nasya oil. And again, this is something I bought, but you could just use your own sesame oil. You could just use your own olive oil. And I'm just dropping it onto the Q-tip. And then you just take this and you just rub it on the inside. Oh, and this one smells so good. And you just rub it on the inside of your nose. And it's going to clean out some of the dried goods that might be in there. So I'm not going to show you this close up now. but it just oils and cleanses. Now, the other reason why I love this is because the rhinovirus, which is the common cold, 95% of the time it enters in through the nose. And so if you oil your nose, then it is going to trap the oil, and the little hairs in your nose are going to trap these viruses. And then the eucalyptus is going to deactivate it, kill it basically. So you're also providing a line of defense against viruses that enter in through your nose by applying a coat of oil. And this is something my grandfather, who was a chemist for General Mills for many, many decades, whenever he would travel, he would take Neosporin, which is petroleum based, unfortunately, but it's like an antibiotic, but it's basically an oil. And he would oil his nose, and he swore he never got sick on an airplane because he did that. So, this is probably like the more herbal version of that is to use something like a Nastia oil or some sort of oil with a little tiny bit of essential oil in it as an antibiotic. So that's another thing you should be doing. And lips. Our lips get really dry in the winter. And just last night, my husband, Adam, was like, babe, he's like, do you have anything for my lips? My lips are cracking. And he was like, he's like, don't give me any of that addictive stuff, which makes your lips drier. And I was like, he's smart. Because that's, like Carmex and what is it, Blistex, a lot of those, like chapstick, even a lot of those brands will put alcohol into their petroleum-based lip products, and they will actually dry your lips out more, which will make your lips get drier and need more, which means you buy more, and that's good for them, but it's not good for you, and it's not good for the planet. So what's better to do is to buy a really rich natural oil-based lip cream. So I have, this is one that I really love. This is by a company called Auric, Auric. And I really like that it has this little, it comes up, it has a little mirror, which is pretty cute. And then it has this little, this is rose quartz. So it's actually like a stone rose quartz. And then you can dip it in. And I just have the natural color, but they do have different tints, but I really like this one. This one is called Plush. And this is made, it's called a ceramide lip treatment. And you just use this and you can put it right on your lips. And this is a beautiful kind of like flesh color, and it just plumps your lips. It treats them. I do this every morning. I put this one on, and then I have this is their nighttime lip treatment. So this one is also by Auric, and it's called Ceramide plus olive oil. And this one is just clear, and you just put it directly on your lips. And I sleep with it every night. And my lips, I used to peel the skin off my lips. My lips in the winter would be so dry, and my scalp would be so dry. I would always have dandruff, and I'd always have flaky lips. And I don't have that anymore since I've started oiling my body inside and out and hydrating with salt, and then applying these oils so that my skin is really nourished externally. And then don't forget your feet too, because even though you might not be wearing sandals this time of year, ladies, those calluses down on your feet, and the feet are full of nerve endings and also really highly absorbable. Like it's a very highly absorbing surface. So put this oil, you can put this oil, you can put your body oil, but make sure you get your feet too. And at night, a little hack, a little trick is to put oil or even castor oil if you really want a deep treatment for your calluses, and then put on a pair of socks, like old socks you don't care about. So put that, put on the castor or olive oil on your feet, put on some socks, go to bed, and your feet will just suck that up while you sleep. It's really, really nice. All right. So that's my first tip that you can do is you can add oil and you can add water inside and out. All right. My second tip for beating the winter blues is to dress up. And I know I've fallen into this as well in the winter where it's like, you get the winter blahs and you wake up and you're like, I'm going to put on my favorite hoodie. I'm going to put on my sweatpants. I'm going to put on my sneakers, and I'm just going to go to school. I'm going to put on a hat, right? Like you can do that, But if you just take a little bit of time and put on a nice sweater, put on a nice cardigan or blouse, put on some flattering pants, and then put on some boots or shoes that are like, just a little bit elevated, your mood will feel better. I really, if you watch some of my earlier videos, like I used to wear, I mean, and it's not bad, but my style was very much like homesteading, like, I don't know, it was just very relaxed. And that was fine. But I'll tell you what, since I started waking up and like really caring about what I wear, it has really given me more motivation to go to the gym, more motivation to eat healthy foods. I feel like when I'm out in the world talking to people, I feel more confident. So that's just one quick thing you can do is when you wake up, take an extra minute and pick out an outfit that makes you feel really good and that makes you feel like you've put an effort into yourself. The third thing that you can add is a little bit of extra movement. It doesn't have to be going to the gym for an hour on the treadmill, but in the winter, our sedentary lifestyles can really start to add up, and it can really add a damper to our mood and to our physical vitality. So if you can just park a little further away, take the stairs at work, whatever you can do to add more movement. And if you have, with my kids, this is something we need to do. So I'm like telling myself this so that I can remember to do this weekend, which is a family dance party. It's so easy. Everyone gets to pick their favorite song and then everyone dances. So depending on how big your family is, it might be 2 songs. If you have a lot of big family, it might be 6 songs. But if you just do that and you just have fun and dance, that is an amazing mood lifter. It is so good for releasing endorphins and releasing oxytocin, especially if you're touching and holding and hugging and dancing with someone. All our feel good hormones and mood elevating hormones get activated when we dance. Or just walking, that's really good for all of our health and our circulation, and our getting that glow in your face is all going to get there if you move. And then number 5 is something you can add. This takes a little bit more time, maybe, but it's art. Add a little bit of creativity into your life in the winter. This is a time, again, you're going to be indoors more anyway. So why not just pick up a paintbrush, pick up a pen, open up a Word document and write, create a story, do something, create a collage. But this is a great time of year to fight against the deadness of the creative slump and rage against rage against depression by creating. And I'll never forget when I was studying with David Winston, who is from the Cherokee lineage, and he said in the Cherokee, when someone is depressed, they call it spirit sickness, and the way that they help to relieve spirit sickness is by giving them service work and having them do something helpful for someone else, having them do something that's creative, that's movement, and that's service based. And I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. So make a little piece of art for a friend. If you have an elderly person living in a nursing home, make them a card and send it. Like that's going to move up. That's going to help you lift your depression and your mood. And it's also going to share and give someone else something really beautiful to look at. So simple, it can be simple, but that is something that is helpful. So those are your 5. And just as a recap, add moisture, oils and water, add care to your wardrobe, dress up a little bit, add movement, dance, walk, hop, skip, whatever. 4, oh, you know what? I didn't say number 4. Number 4 was add heat. So that's my 4th one, is add heat. So this is so important in the winter time because our body core temperature tends to go down. And when our nose is colder than 98 degrees, then we are more susceptible to getting sick. So along with oiling the nose, keeping the neck and the face warm in the winter is important. And we can increase the temperature of our nose by increasing the temperature of our core body. So I'm going to highly recommend a hot bath, hot showers, wear an extra layer of clothes. So like wear the cashmere sweater, wear the warm thing. Even though it's winter and you run hot, don't wear a t-shirt. Like keep your core temperature warm. And if you have access to a sauna or a sweat lodge or anything like that, like do that. Do things that make you sweat. And if you have like even like a warm thing you can stick in the microwave for your neck, wear that. So keeping the core temperature up is something you can easily do that will lift your mood, lift your spirits, keep your body healthy. So that was my number 4. I had skipped that. And then number 5 is add art. So there you go. Now, what about herbs? I know you're probably like, oh, there's more. Well, there is. And you don't have to listen to it now. You can pause it if you're like, okay, that's enough for now. I'm going to get started with there. But if you want to keep going, let me share 5 herbs. These are going to be a little bit faster. The first one is chocolate. Add chocolate. Now, don't add too much chocolate. Like I'm not saying like eat a whole bar a day, but research has shown that cacao is very mood elevating. It is actually helpful for mild depression. It is helpful for cardiovascular health. It is a strong antioxidant, which helps with aging and free radical. So you can help your mood and elevate your mood with chocolate. And I think like it's Valentine's Day here soon. So, if you're getting chocolate, like obviously, whenever I buy chocolate, here's a few tips. Always look for chocolate without corn syrup and all the truffles and all the little hearts. Avoid corn syrup. It is very drying on the body. It spikes insulin and blood sugar levels. It's a really bad thing to put in your body. So I always, I don't ever buy chocolate that has corn syrup in it or chocolate treats that have corn syrup. Also, the other thing you have to do with chocolate is make sure, sorry, I just bumped my microphone. The other thing that you have to do is make sure that your chocolate has been tested for heavy metals, because unfortunately, sometimes cacao, through the growing process and also through the manufacturing and the machines that are used in processing the cacao, you can get heavy metals in your chocolate. So I did a bunch of research and I looked at a bunch of brands. Sadly, even endangered species chocolate is high in mercury and cadmium, which is a toxic metal. So when I did my research, the one that had the lowest amount of lead and other heavy metals is this one here. It's called Mast. I go to their website and I buy a box of 12 bars. I know, but that's just the way I roll. And so this is their organic dark chocolate at 70. I really like this one. Then they also have an almond and sea salt dark chocolate, which I really love, because then you're getting the salt and you're getting a little bit of that healthy fats along with this. So I buy like a mix. I buy a box of 12 and I mix a bunch of them. And then I usually eat just a few squares a day. And that's like medicine. Like I swear, this is part of my healthcare routine, is a little bit of dark chocolate every single day. All right. Another herb that is really good for you is marshmallow. This is a great one in the wintertime. We talked about hydration and oil pathways. Marshmallow root, we're not talking about the candy. Marshmallow root is so deeply moistening and soothing to the digestive system, to the throat, to the sinus area, to the mouth. Anything that has a mucous membrane lining is soothed with marshmallow root. So what I recommend is doing a cold overnight infusion. So you take about a quarter cup of dried marshmallow root and about a quart jar of cool or cold water. Let it sit overnight. And then in the morning, strain it and drink it. And if you want to add a little extra something special, you can watch my video on rose. And I do a whole video on how to make a rose, marshmallow, and cinnamon cold infusion. Oh, that is delicious. That's heart medicine. And it's so, so soothing. But marshmallow root, if I were to pick one of those 3 for the winter for this topic, it's going to be marshmallow root. The third herb is St. John's wort. Now, I know St. John's wort isn't for everyone. It is contraindicated if you are taking birth control. It's contraindicated if you're taking any sort of mood stabilizer, an SSRI. There's a number of other medications where you cannot take St. John's wort. So do consult your resources if you are taking medication. But I find that if you are not taking any of those medications, that in the wintertime, St. John's wort is a wonderful mood lifter. It has been clinically shown to help with mild to moderate depression. Um, it is a solar plexus herb. So it's an herb that helps to build resilience in the solar plexus, which is the seat of our digestion and the seat of our immune system and the seat of our serotonin production. So that is one of our happy self-made chemicals in our body. And so there's a ton of research on St. John's wort. So if you think that might be a good herb for you, you can reach out to a registered clinical herbalist. They can help you with dosage. What I would recommend for sort of the general public is to start with drop doses. Again, if you're not on any of the medications that I've listed or that are listed on you could look up the PubMed website, or WebMD for a list of the medications that are contraindicated with St. John's wort. But I would say for general use, start with 3 to 5 drops of the tincture twice a day. And that's a pretty low dose, but that is a pretty safe and more energetic dose to start with. And if you are dealing with, more like mild or moderate depression, work with a clinical herbalist and they can get you just the right dose. And then another herb that's wonderful for the winter is calendula. This is marigold. It is that bright yellow, beautiful flower. It's really full and thick of resins. And this is one that was used traditionally in winter soups to help with seasonal affective disorder or the winter blues. It's got this bright orange yellow color to it, and it cheers up and brightens soups. And it's also a wonderful lymphatic, which is one of the reasons why I think it helps elevate the mood, is because it helps with stuckness. When our lymph is stuck and slow and stagnant, we feel yucky. We feel blah. We get the winter doldrum feel where there's no wind in the sail at all. So if you want to add a little bit of wind to your sail, add a little bit of calendula flowers. These are the dried flowers. You can add it to soups, to stews. You can make a tea with it. You can use calendula tincture if you want. You can use calendula in body oils. Topically is really nice. I love using it for that. But that's another great winter herb. And then the last one you're going to love is cayenne. Spice. We can all use a little bit of extra spice in the winter, especially for lifting our mood, increasing circulation. I'm drinking right now some hot cocoa with cayenne. Oh my gosh, now that's good. So I've combined my cacao with some cayenne. And it increases circulation, it increases flushing of the cheeks, it increases the immune system's activity. You just feel a little lighter, a little brighter. One of the best words to describe the activity of cayenne is it's vivifying. Isn't that a great word? Vivifying. So if you want to feel vivified, add a little bit of cayenne to your coffee, to your tea, to your hot cocoa, to your soups, to your foods, whatever it is you're eating, even why not add a little bit to your oatmeal in the morning, a little bit to your yogurt, right? Just a touch will change your life. So that's my final one. So just as a recap, our 5 herbs are cacao, marshmallow, St. John's wort, calendula, and cayenne. You don't have to take all of them, but maybe there's one that really stands out that feels like a good match for you to get started. So that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video has given you a little bit of wind in your sails to glide through the rest of this winter season. And please let me know in the comments if you liked this video, if you have used any of these herbs, if you found any of these activities to be helpful for keeping your mood and your spirits alight. And if there's anything else that you have to add. It's always fun to hear things that I didn't think of that you all have done to help support your mood and to support yourself through harder times. So that's all I've got. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Click, click, click. And I'll see you all in the next episode.